Hello, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to you all from Rising Together TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to your time and wherever you are watching us from. If this is your first time of coming across our channel, please enable to hit the red subscribe button down below and also the bell icon for notifications so that whenever we upload a new video, you will always be the first person to be notified. This case that you are about to watch right away is a case of tenancy dispute. Please stay tuned while the both party, defendant and the complainant make their statement for peaceful resolution. Please share this video to your friends and to your family, to your platform until I come your way next time. Remain blessed and bye for now. Ciao.
Hello, sir.
Alright, good evening. We'll be listening and everyone should pay attention as well. Alright, the complainant of the case should please give us his or her statement.
My name is Mrs. Eniola Obashoto. I live at number 1 Obashoto Street. The issue between my husband, because I'm the landlady, and my husband is not in Lagos, is in Abuja. But anything that is going on, he always carry me along. So the issue is that when the issue started, he rent the apartment in 2018. Who? Alison. In 2018, and uh, the deal will be 2019 November.
You're not sure.
Yeah, I am sure, but I have evidence. So at the end of the day, instead of paying this, and before he rented the apartment, I told him that this house, so we don't accommodate that. How many people are you going to stay in the flat? He said that he will soon get married. No problem. Okay. So later, I now saw different. I now call him that, but this is what you said, that you can check other people, that because my husband is not around and you don't want situation that, so you cannot vow for any of his tenants, that this is what he wants. He now said that they come and stay with him, those people, the mother. That I didn't he didn't tell me that is his mother. He said that he's a member of their church with the children, that they come to stay with him for some time. So the issue, I just left them. They started staying. At the end of the day, when he's supposed to pay the rent, he did not pay anything.
Can you please excuse me a moment, like few seconds?
Okay, so
Okay. Go ahead.
so he didn't pay anything. So as then 2020, so he did not pay the money. At the end, my husband gave them as the caretaker to give them quick notice. So when the caretaker issued the quick notice to, he met mama. As he met the mama, was saying he read criminal law, that there is no letter head on the letter. At the end, the caretaker, this is the I have an evidence. So the caretaker now reprint, now
I don't
reprint.
understand. I understand you are not educated. Go ahead.
The caretaker now reprint the
Sorry.
letter. So when the caretaker reprint the letter, that time the mama was telling the caretaker.
Sorry, sir. I did not get what you
I
said.
want to quickly, viewers, I want to quickly give you update of the previous case. Yeah, because we work together,
Hello.
be you viewer,
Yeah,
fan, co-comrade,
okay.
the police. So if we just drop
Open the door.
without letting you know what we are doing next, I don't think is good. So the issue of the previous case, Mr. Aluka Stanley, according to Lagos law, as a father, Muslim father, is compulsory with force that you must take care of your children. And there is a penalty for that. So when we are doing the issue of children or child abandonment, sending them to where he or she is as far as concerned, as we are concerned, the person might think he or she has connection. So what we are doing at this moment, the man is still very much around, but the police is coming to take him to the station. That is compulsory that he must take care of his children, and thereafter, the issue of that same allegation of trying to blind the wife, that issue will still come up. So maybe he's still going to lose the job. By the time we are through with him, he might leave from there to that prison. So this is the update. God bless you. Right on, President.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, we are just living. So later, there is one day, rain was falling, and I saw the mama, she put something at the entrance, like 30 something. She put it at the entrance where everybody is passing. And I call her that, where everybody is passing, why do you put such a thing at the entrance? And I call my husband. Then his prayer. I said, okay, if you want to do prayer, you have to do it in front of your flat. It's not an entrance where everybody in the house are passing. So later, I call my husband. My husband now said the tenant should do meeting with her and know the reason why she did so.
Who?
The woman. So they said Alison mother. Alison mother. So, and when the other tenant came, I now tabled the matter. They now say, why did she, where everybody is passing, why did she put such a thing? And when this thing happened, I use water. I have an evidence. One of my tenants saw me when I use some water to wash the thing. So the next day, they now make meeting with her that why did you do this? That Muslim is there, a different tribe.
What did she do?
That she put something.
What?
Like fetish, like on at the entrance where everybody is passing.
What do you mean by fetish?
Like yes, spiritual this thing. And I call her immediately. When I saw her, I said, where everybody is passing, why did you put this spiritual something?
I just want to hear what you're saying.
So the next day, the tenant called her. I was there. They now
Go ahead.
the other tenant, they called her. I was there. At the end, we settled the matter. So later, my husband now sent his own letter of quick notice to Alison. This is the copy. I print it out from my phone. So he now sent the copy to him that he don't want, he write the allegation on the letter that he don't want such people in his compound. Instead for him, the woman did not have good relation with the people in the compound. So at the end of the day, my husband now asked his lawyer to give them another quick notice. This quick notice 6 months again, it expired. So by the time it expired, that time the court they have issue with the federal government. So when this thing expired, the lawyer now gave them, by the time the lawyer came and gave them 7 days, I can't get them in the house. They just locked the flat. Money for NEPA, the money that he owed before since the time he has entered that compound, if he will not pay us NEPA bill on time, he will not pay sweeping money on time. Most of the time I will use my own personal money to utilize it. Later I will pay. So the money he owe 11,200. Before I talk to my ten ant that as it is so, NEPA dey no, you no know, maybe somebody, the flat is low, they are bringing their bill as it is so, maybe we that is the, and I'm not the one in charge of the NEPA bill. Anytime NEPA brought their bill, is the ten ant that share the money, and what they are paying is what I'm paying, including the sweeping money. I don't handle anything in the house. Anything they are doing, I support them. So I have to use my own personal money to clear the money 11,000, because anytime the person that is charged the bill comes out, he make sure he transfer his person bill on their WhatsApp. At the end, the money was there, no response. We did not see him. So by March this year, I have to clear the money. So when I clear the money, I now call them that if NEPA bring bill, how will you do? They now said you should be sharing it. So the next thing I did, I cut their light. And by cutting their light, I need water. So once in a while, they have two girls.
They cut the light.
I remove the light because they are not staying there.
Who did you call? Who did you call to come and remove the light?
Hey, I'm my electrician.
Your electrician?
Yes.
Where is he?
He's not staying here. They always come. So they are not staying there.
You will call the electrician to come.
Okay.
And you phone him now. You still call him when you finish your statement.
Mm-hmm.
If they are saying their own, you call the electrician to come.
So because the electrician asked me that, mommy, why do you call? I said they are not paying. They are not paying money. And this house is locked since November. They are not paying money, and I don't want anything. You know, NEPA, electricity can spark at any time. Say, and the tenant and me will be paying money. But by the time they see that there is light in that flat, to pay money, they will reluctantly pay the money. Say this flat is locked. That the best thing is to remove their light, because I don't want them to burn my house. I told the electrician that he should remove their light. They are no more there. The flat is locked. That they should remove their light. He now remove their light. So before, my husband will be calling Alison from Abuja. He will not pick his call. He will not pick call at all. So I now, one time, many months, if he want, he now call my husband. He now call my husband that he wanted to pay so money. My husband now told him that I don't have any issue with you again, that I should leave my house. I have the conversation on my phone that they should leave my house. Since 2020, they are just we can't say this is the kind of thing they are doing. And my husband said he didn't want such a people. Since January now, is the tenant and me that we are clearing their bill. After I clear the bill they owe, I'm the one I paid 11,200 to clear their bill that they owe, when the person that in charge when the person that is charged was asking me about the money, and that I want to apply for prepaid meter, and NEPA said that if you did not clear the whole bill, the money that was on that account, they can't give us prepaid meter. So I have to clear the money 11,200. I cleared the money from January. The tenant, all the other people will take the matter, will take their own money. We share it on everybody flat. We are paying up to this moment. Even okay, The children will be coming once, maybe once in 2 months. I will just see them. So I remember one day, and my husband call me that the mother always call me that she's in Abuja, that she's this, she's this. The last day I have the conversation with her daughter, said, come and pack your load from this, you just plug this flat. It's not that the responsibility that you're supposed to do, you are not doing it. Pack this load. If I get angry that day,
Madam,
okay, I said, get pack from this, pack away from this flat. My mother, when we finish our father's burial, my mother is not in Lagos, my mother is in Abuja. I That's what the lady told me. So later I remember first, so people in my area, they always tell me that, but mommy, we always see this woman in Iyanokpaja side. I say, So later, maybe 3 weeks later, I was going to the church early in the morning. So and now I was on the bike, I now saw this woman. Say, Joe, look at this woman that was telling us that she's not in Lagos. You want to use our flat to pay an adult, and now ask the Okada to turn back. And now so I say, mama, come and pack your load. I now ask the Okada to go take me to the church.
You called her only.
I call her only. The reason why I call her only is that
Steal your property.
it's not that she stole my property,
You don't know
but
what
she
is the
owed me money.
interpretation of only in your language.
No, it's thief. Okay, somebody that blocked another person's property did not let that person utilize her money. It did not.
Take the phone. I say give her the.
So when our pumping machine gets faulty, money that everybody's supposed to contribute for the repairing is only people that is available that was using, and they will just come once in a while. They don't know the responsibility we are taking in that house. Those guests, they will now come, they will like to, they will, so later I get angry. I said, okay, it's because you went, I don't know how this, if how you are doing, that's how others are doing. That's how others are doing.
You know how to put that on the side.
Say that's how, if that's how you are doing, that's how others are doing.
Where are you?
How you are doing, if that's how others are doing, how did we, NEPA will remove our light without paying? They will not get water in the house. I now call the plumber again, because nobody in that flat. I now call the plumber again to remove their water. They are not staying there. So I want to, so that these tenants, they will know that, okay, any payment that comes on their way, they will take responsibility of it. But if they know that that flat is still on with water, well, that water, when the water get, the pumping machine get fault, we need that in the house, and the money they pay, I pay, we repair it. So you will now come from outside, you will like to use the water. It's not possible. That it's like you are cheating on us. People, woman that was sweeping the compound, you don't pay. It's we that in the compound that will contribute money for the woman. So life is not like that. You love the flat, instead for you to pack out from the flat, let's move life forward. You refuse to pack from the flat. That's the way. So when I now saw the mama, the next day, Monday, I now came first Monday in July. I now came to make a report that these people, it's like they are taking us for granted because my husband is not available. The caretaker gave them quick notice. I've showed president. My husband send quick notice and pass allegation the reason why he want them to pack from his house. My husband lawyer gave them summarize. I've already my husband lawyer gave them quick notice. 6 months they did not pack. Another 7 days they did not pack. That's the reason why I came here to make a report so that justice will be prevail in my family, in my house.
Okay, let's give the tenant audience to respond to the landlady.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alison. I actually got that apartment in 2018, like she likely said, on the November 2018. I guess what actually she also said is a case of miscommunication, and she doesn't understand the nature of my job. I am a hotelier, and I'm not often always available. When I got this apartment, she told me that this apartment is a one family apartment, which I appreciated. And she told me she's a redeemer, which I appreciated. But I told her actually, and she now asked the third question that she appreciates people who are married in the flat, which I said, oh, very soon. I didn't give her a date. I said, very soon I will be married. She said, oh, that's great. That whenever she comes, she will welcome. I said, no problem. Now the challenge I have is not an issue of challenge, but my nature of job is I may spend 5 days at work, spend a day at home, and each time I return, what I need is rest and sleep. Now, if I'm away from work and there's a bill brought to the house, she will not have the patience for me to return. Maybe within the period I'm at work, that is what is going to give her the stress. Now, while I made my payment and paid the agency fee, caution fee, everything, then I was in the house. The rent was to expire in 2019 November. The husband called me and told me that my rent expired August. I was like, no, sir, it should be at November. Every night he keeps calling to send in the money. I said, please, sir, since I am paying annually, you should give me a grace at least within this month. I need to stay in this house. I will pay this money. Now, what something happened? I think we now entered the era of lockdown, and that period because hotel was actually a focus of this COVID-19 precautionary measure. The hotel was actually everybody was actually asked to shut down and leave. I was affected. Now it was a proceed from my salary I expected to gather and pay off this house rent. Now within that period, he kept mounting this pressure. At about March, I paid him 150,000 naira, which he appreciated, and he told me when will I pay the balance. Then I told him as soon as possible. Now the reason why I told him as soon as possible because at that time my place of work is under lock. But the truth is he kept asking me and he kept disturbing and calling that I should make sure I make this payment. Truth be told, there was no miss this money could come up. That was the period my mom came. Then with my siblings, we were all around that period. We were all around within that period. Now, when I came out from work, she asked me, "Who is this?" I said, "Oh, my mom. They came to visit." She said, "Okay." Now, at December, it seems she didn't like the idea of my mom and my siblings being in the house. And then I'm not often around, but it's an issue that doesn't go down well with her. Then December, when the husband came, he summoned me for a meeting. I I answered the call. I came upstairs with other co-tenants, and the allegation was that I don't rapport with other people. One, the second one was I don't patronize her shop. Two, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry if that happened. I don't have idea about this, but I'll speak to my sisters that it's not necessary for you to go and buy something outside and then leave your landlady. Then she said, I don't rapport. I said, how will I rapport when I spend only a day or twice in the week in the house? Then he now said, I am paying the rent instrumentally. I said, I'm sorry, it's not my intention, but this is how it came about. Which after the meeting, we reconciled, and he said, I should go on and enjoy my house, that in the real sense, that no African, every African man have the right to invite his family into his household. I appreciated. I went back in, went to my sisters. I told them, whatever it is that makes you not to buy things from her, please let it stop from now. I made peace with them, and then we were fine. Then lastly, the one that happened recently was it still continued that most hotels are still working let's say below they are still working averagely, not actually to the full capacity. And then they still called coming from Abuja, her husband, asking me to make this payment. I couldn't stand this pressure. Then I had to go and meet somebody that referred me to a hotel at Lekki. That was where I moved to Lekki. I moved to Lekki. Now I stayed in the hotel, worked in the hotel to raise money to offset the house rent. I was able to raise 205,000 naira, which I transferred to her husband that day. Now, when I transferred the money to the husband, he now asked me, when am I paying the balance? I said, as soon as I get the money, I will pay off. Now, I understand that she may not know that I communicate with the husband often and even offset some bills with the husband. That is just the case of this. She doesn't understand that. Now, as she said, I'm owing her the rent. I offset that year and paid upfront 6 months ahead. And one man told me that he is not against me, that I should try as soon as possible to pay off. Now, these 6 months elapsed at me. Then he called me and I should make this payment. Then he kept calling, and calling, and telling me that I didn't pay for NEPA bill, I didn't pay for electricity, I didn't pay for Loma. And I called. They should calculate the NEPA bill, let me pay. Nobody gave me a response. And she that's making this complaint had not come in over a very long time to clear me on issues in the house. Tenants called me and I respond. I told them my situations and they'll tell me God will do it for you. Once you have, just pay off. Now, because of the nature of the job, I had not had time to come around. But each time I hear how they deal with the people I left behind, it saddens my heart. And I was like, this is the person I call mommy, and this is how she's treating me even while I was off. Now, on the issue of fetish stuff she mentioned against my mom, she walked into the company because I called her when I heard that, because I spoke to the landlord. I said, honestly, I don't really understand what is going on. It should be peaceful, because this is what you told me. It's a big family, and I'm not seeing this in any light. So when I called her, I said, what actually happened? She said she stepped into the house. The wife she was about to go, but she noticed the place was wet with water. Then she was like, oh, it didn't go down well with her. And she would complain that, okay, anytime that is always wet. So she went, and I asked her, what did she do? She said she just went there and then dropped salt there and passed. That was what the landlady saw and said it was spiritual something. And I asked, how can salt be a spiritual something? Now, as it is now, what I am owing them is the balance of 6 months from now till November. And the issue of light that she disconnected, I don't understand where she have that kind of power or authority to disconnect the lights and the water in my house. I'm actually really surprised I was summoned to this place over issues that should not be an issue. Thank you.
Madam, hold on,
Is
let
that
that.
all?
Sir,
Are you true?
the man is true, yes.
Okay. According to him, he said the landlady disconnected his light. I don't know if I get it wrong or right.
Yes, but I want to ask, have you been living there? Is anybody living in that apartment? Or you lock up the no, give up. I'm not talking to you. You are not the one that rent the apartment, give to your son.
All right, ma'am.
Have you been living in that place or you locked up the place?
I didn't lock up the apartment, ma'am.
Is anybody living there now?
For now, nobody is there.
How long
My
have you
place
been
is
out
out.
of the place?
It's over 5 months now.
Over 5 months.
Yes.
Have you been paying them? Madam, excuse me, please. That is why I said you should not talk here. This person did not report you, not constitute nuisance in my office.
My
The question
siblings,
I'm asking
my
is,
siblings were
excuse
supposed
me,
to be there.
Alison,
Yes, ma'am.
you left there over 5 months. You locked up the place. Have you been paying for the utility bills?
Yes.
No.
I have.
You've been paying for the utility bills?
Yes.
Like the NEPA and the water?
We don't pay for water, it's a borehole.
Borehole?
Yes. Only thing I
what
owe
about
them in that house is NEPA bill.
You are owing?
The only thing I owe to pay
yes.
is NEPA bill, which doesn't even communicate with me about.
No.
It was the tenant that will communicate that with me, and he stopped that communication early this year.
Okay,
Because each time he sent me a message, giving me my own share of the bill.
I
may delay. Yes, I may delay, but I will eventually pay. In fact, even when I
are you in arrear now, or you are indebted? Are you in arrear of that rent, of that utility bills?
The NEPA bill?
Yes.
She said I'm owing 11,200 naira.
11,200 supposed to be how many months?
If the bills, you see the bill that comes around in that house.
Yes.
It's actually on the very, very high side.
Okay, good. Then it saves. Hold on, excuse me, sir. Then she saves situation for both you and the house, because one, you are not there. For the past 5 months, you are not there, and no member of your family is in that apartment.
They do come around.
If they do come around, it doesn't mean they are staying there.
Okay.
Because you are not complaining now. You are complaining that the bill is outrageous, right?
No, you didn't get me. You asked me how many months is that 11,200?
Yes.
That's what you asked me.
Yeah.
That is what the bill that I'm going to pay off.
And which is how many months?
And it could be 2, it could be 3.
Okay.
Because on the average, the NEPA bill is 5,000.
For per flat.
Yes.
Okay, if NEPA bill is 5,000 per flat,
yes,
and you have not been there for the past 5 months, and you did not pay upfront, then if it's 5,000 for 5 months, it's supposed to be how much? 25,000. So if she's calculating 11,000 something for 5 months, and she understands that you are owing, and you are not in the apartment, if she call electrician to disconnect your light, or she called a NEPA to disconnect your light, instead of bringing the bills to the other people that are in the apartment and you are not there, one, she saved the cost for you, and for them not to accumulate bills that they eventually end up arguing with NEPA that they are not going to pay. And so one person is there. One, if a tenant vacates apartment or you are not there, it is the duty of the landlord to officially write to the NEPA, stop billing this flat because this person is no more here, or nobody is existing there. If it's prepaid, you know, if you are not around, your prepaid will not be running, you pay only service charge. But if it's something that the estimator pay and you are not in the apartment and no member of your family is permanently living there, then by disconnecting the light to the apartment, it's to the favor of you and them also not accumulating bills. But if you go in there and she deny you access to light, then that is where you talk about infringement of your right and all that and all that, because that apartment belongs to them and it has been locked up by you for 5 months for whatever reasons you have given.
If she disconnected that light,
yes,
if that light was disconnected from a good motive, I would appreciate that. Even while I was not in the house, they sent me bill and I paid.
Yeah, but if you have not paid for the past how many months, accumulated that bill, then you have not been paying.
If she disconnected the bill because she wants my bill to stop reading, I will appreciate that.
But for whatever reason, you should also reason it from that angle.
I don't have issue with what she did. But if I'm stepping into my house today, the light must come up.
Now you know that the light is not. Are you owing rent?
That's what I said.
Are you owing rent?
I just explained. I pay per annum.
Yes.
I have paid half, remaining half.
Meaning you are still owing. It's a simple language. Yes. You are owing. And your mother keeps saying you are not owing. These are contradictory statements. You are the tenant, not your mother. You said you are owing 6 months. Yes. Your mother said you people are not owing.
Expires May. I don't know what you say. What are you saying? Which car expires? What do you know?
No, ma. See that, madam. See that.
What are you saying? Which car? Are you there when you rent the house? Which expires? Are you
communicate with your
please,
husband?
please.
You don't know what you're saying.
What are you saying?
Everything.
All your conversations between you and my husband is on my
No,
phone.
don't give your mother that mic.
I understand the question you asked.
Yes.
Assuming this is 2020, right?
Yes.
If I've cleared off this rent. Now,
when are you supposed to renew your rent?
My rent ought to be renewed by November, which
November.
I paid, and I paid 6 months upfront that expired May. So I pleaded with him. It's an annual payment.
Yes. Have you been paying? Are you an annual tenant?
Yes.
Or 6 months tenant?
It's an annual tenant of which I can pay. I pleaded with him. He accepted me to pay in that manner.
In 6 months?
He accepted, yes.
Then you are not a yearly tenant. That is what I'm saying. If you pleaded with him and he accepted, even if you pleaded with him, let me be paying every week, every month, you are not a yearly tenant. Whatever you pay, how you renew your rent determine your tenancy.
Now, I don't understand what you're trying to ask me now.
Okay,
what I mean is you're asking me if I'm owing them rent.
Yes.
My rent is running, right? So I ought to renew. So I paid half. Right? I paid half.
Mr. Harris.
Yes,
President, can I chip in?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, mister?
He's talking to you.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. What is the first agreement between you and this apartment? Was it a year or 6 months?
He told me that the rentage we agreed to pay yearly. Now, due to the lockdown, this is the lockdown.
Hello, sir. You understand what I'm asking you?
Go ahead, sir. I didn't get you.
Okay. The first time you got that house and you were given paper or some document to sign, did you sign for 6 months or you signed for 1 year?
It's 1 year, sir.
That is the simple question I just asked you. So if you sign for 1 year, if you later plead for to be paying 3 months, 6 months, or pay as you go, the agreement between you and that apartment still remain 1 year.
Yes,
so
sir.
If they are going to pick you out of the house, by law, then you should be given 6 months to get ready. Whether you are owing or you are not owing or you are paying every month, it stands by the first agreement you have. So long they did not alter that agreement, they did not change it to 6 months. So you are still a yearly tenant. That area I want everybody to understand.
All right, thank you.
Chairman is not done that.
So what is actually the problem now?
All right, sir. So now I want to pay the remaining balance of the 6 months. Then suddenly he was like, Alison, leave my house. I told him, I thought we have resolved this issue of leave my house. He said, Alison, I want you to leave my house. And I said, on what count? On what ground are you asking me to leave your house? To leave your house. And he was now saying that my mom put something fetish in the compound, that I don't have a good rapport with the tenants. And I was like, all these things are lies against me. And he said that is what he heard, and that is what he's going to stand up. And I told him that is not being fair. I said, let me pay my money. Later he agreed, he agreed that I should pay the money. Then later he called me again and said, don't pay the money. So I was like, what is going on? So even when I got this letter to be here, I'm still surprised why it's this way.
Family that was going to be living there.
You say what?
Hold on. Mr. Chairman, are you there?
Sir?
President.
Sir?
Let us not stress the viewers, okay? I beg right now, I beg you in the name of God. Because of viewers, don't do it for me.
You don't understand. Somebody keep calling the line. I'm rejecting it. The person who sees your voice. I'll reject the person who sees your voice. That's what I'm saying. I'll not bring it up again. Please, this thing is on speaker. They are hearing you. Let them talk to you, please. Oga, talk wetin you dey talk.
He asked me a question and I played it.
Respond. The call that was coming in could not allow you to hear what you are saying.
Okay, he was asking. So he was asking if I was a yearly tenant
Okay, what do
or
you want? What do you want us to do for you now,
sir.
Mister?
Sir, he asked me to pay the remaining balance, which I was willing to pay. Then suddenly he said, "Don't pay again. Leave my house." That was the last conversation. Then, when I was speaking with him, he said, "Alison, I don't have any issue with you. Get your house." In fact, he even said something that if I need a support to pay for my flat, my new apartment, that he will support me. I was like, all right, there's no problem, but let me I didn't agree to leaving the house. I was like, I don't have the might to do that now. He was like, look for your house. And when you get the house, you leave. It was verbal over the phone. That's what he said. That was my last conversation with the landlord. But she, who is my landlady, has never over have never for a long time spoken to me on the phone. For a long time has not spoken to me on the phone. I am keeping this thing minimized so that it will be only the major issue that we are dealing with. If I'm to start going to the side comments, this may take us a whole day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And according to her, she complained that there is kind of, fetish stuff that your mother put somewhere in the house.
She will explain that. She's beside me, she will explain that. But the fetish stuff she's talking about is salt, sodium chloride that kills earthworm. That is salt. That is the fetish thing she mentioned. She is a Christian.
Did she snap? Did she snap it like that?
You say what?
Hello, sir.
I was asking if she snapped the fetish, something she claims she stored there.
I'm not sure she had anything snapped. The fetish thing she's talking about is salt. It's salt, nothing's fetish.
You say?
Now, you still need some time to get yourself ready.
Are you talking to me?
So I thought we were anchoring a case.
No, the incoming calls, they just, this sees your voice. So if he sees I cannot hear you, then we bring it up again before we hear it.
Okay. President,
Sir?
are you enjoying this show? If you were viewers, you are one of the viewers, will you be enjoying it? Instead of you to treat something from the office there that will not take 5 minutes, we are stressing ourselves and stressing viewers. I don't like it.
I'm not supposed to be here. I told you I'm going to connect you and I need to rest. I need to rest. I'm
Then
stressed.
if you go out of that place, I will do it. But you of us not be guestless at the same time, but not the case. This case is not that strong.
Yaba is not here. I cannot leave here. This thing is season. If he sees, who will not bring it up? What are you saying?
So the balance of the rent is 115,000, and then I was willing to pay, and he said, "Don't pay again." I was willing to pay, and he said, "Don't pay again." That was last month conversation, and he said, "Actually, his house." Now, when she said, "I've been giving quit notice over and over," she didn't say what follows suit after the quit notice. The first person that brought the quit notice was even somebody I don't even know. He was an agent. When he brought the quit notice, I was like, I didn't accept it from him. When the man came back, we had a meeting. He said, ignore that, pay your rent and leave your house. So now, when she's making this allegation that I've been giving notice over and over, and I'm still wondering, is it that she's not aware of the peace talk with her husband or something? I don't really understand. Now, it is this last month that he made this, that he made. Now, it was this last time.
Come over here, madam, go there. Get up, please. You come over here. So I can help my office settle this, please. Go ahead, please.
So, actually, when she was asking me to leave, I felt I was treated wrongly because I was willing to pay for the rent and it's asking me to leave. So I still don't know the reason why I'm in someone here. Thank you.
How long have you lived in that house?
20.
Madam, give him mic. I don't know how to talk. You talk, he's not responding to your this. Don't collect mic from him again. So we finish with the mic, give it to me, I will off it. Okay.
2018 month.
2018.
Yes, November.
And you said you've reached compromise with your husband?
Yes.
When?
That was last month. Last month. Yes.
That he should give you time to pay up the remaining balance.
Yes. When
Use the mic.
I spoke with him.
Yeah.
After when I spoke with him, we spoke at length. It was even we had a this WhatsApp conversation.
No, that you agree with him. Just tell me what you agree.
I paid 200 plus earlier that expires in June, this June now. So he now called me again last month and said, pay up the remaining balance.
What are you showing, madam?
No, because it's
What are you showing? Just
I'm showing.
Sit down there and
because
talk to
there
me.
is nothing that is going on between my husband.
Call your husband.
There is nothing
Call
that
your
is
husband, madam.
Okay.
So
That-
suddenly
because of the
suddenly
money
last
saved.
month he called and said, Alison, that he's not collecting my rent again, that I should leave his house. That's what happened. And he said, I don't pay for NEPA bill, I don't pay for. I was like, those are not correct. Then later, I said, what is NEPA bill? Let me pay. Nobody gave me anything.
Okay, but you are not using the apartment. Why can't you vacate the apartment and give them possession of the apartment? You are not there. So why do you lock up
Where
the
I
apartment?
am-
What is the purpose of you locking it?
Where I am staying is not my permanent residence. It was a contract job I'm doing.
Madam, sit down. You
I
are
want to say I should
no, you stay here and call the person.
It's not a permanent residence. So I am still returning back to my house. So I still know this is why I'm going to vacate it.
If you are a contract, what you are doing is contract work, and you are staying far away from the place, and you spend more of your time there than where you rented apartment. Why can't you get another apartment close to where you are working now?
It's very expensive now.
It's expensive.
Yes.
But you know you cannot continue living in the place if they don't want you there. It's their property.
If they don't want me to live in the place, they should give me time then to get another apartment.
Eh?
If they don't want me there, they will give me time to get another apartment.
Who is making all this noise? How much time do you want them to give you for you to give them the apartment?
hello.
Okay, madam, hold
You
on.
took that say I should talk. Mo wà ní.
Let me collect this thing.
So you can talk to me.
Put it on that speaker.
No, Alison ní òun fún yín ní 230,000 àbí ó lóun fún yín ó ní wípé òun bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ last week. Okay. He now said that he called you.
Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́gbà tó tọ́tọ́ ó wà lórí WhatsApp.
Speak in English, sir. Speak in
I will
English.
tell him to speak English.
Tell him. Speak in English.
Hello?
Speak in English.
Okay. Good evening, madam. Now, what I am saying, I don't tell you everything, the money he said to me is in my WhatsApp. I will send it to you now. I've not spoken with him in the last 2 months. So the last time we spoke was in May.
Ask him. Has he ever paid the many amount?
Has he ever paid the balance?
He has not paid the balance. Oh.
How much is the balance?
Okay. Can you allow, because I'm driving, can I park?
How much is the balance?
He's driving.
And as I am driving, let me park and tell you how much he has paid.
I thought you have sent it to your wife before.
It's on my phone already. Conversation.
Everything is in my wife's phone.
Yes,
I
it's
sent it
on.
to my wife.
How much is he owing? How much is he?
Oga,
hold on.
Hello?
How much is the total money?
Okay, let me back and call you back.
Madam, how much is his rent?
His rent is 230,000. There is no conversation between him and my husband that I did not, because my husband.
How much? Before you come, must everything be phone? You that is claiming money, can't you remember what is happening?
I remember. He first paid my husband 100,000. Later he paid 95,000.
Because
and the money that 100,000, the balance of 2018/29, which was 80,000, was on that money. He paid 109. The last payment he paid to my husband is 195,000. As he transferred the money on his phone.
Why the problem is from you and your husband? Because you want to be landlady, your husband want to be landlord. Okay. Why can't one of you manage the property and deal with the tenant faithfully? Why must you be the landlord? This one is landlady. Today you will ask for rent. Tomorrow your husband will ask for utility bills. Next time you ask for utility bill, you ask for rent.
It's not, man.
So who has he been paying to?
He said that, man.
No, madam. Who has he been paying to?
It's my husband. There is nothing, because the reason why my husband make me to know what is going on is that between both of them is that my husband is not staying in Lagos. So any conversation between, please let me
allow them to solve their problem. You are not the tenant there, abeg.
I always speak with the husband. That's what I'm saying.
You are not the tenant. They don't know you as a tenant there.
And I even always call my son to
go ahead and
please let me
talk. They're not owing her.
Any conversation, please.
Madam, step out.
Any conversation, because my husband is not staying in Lagos. Any conversation between Alison and my husband will make sure he sends the conversation to me. He paid 195,000 to my husband in January. So when he now paid the money to my husband now told him that he now narrated how the money is. He now told him that he don't want him in his house again, that he should pack from his house. Since that time, January, he paid the money. It's on my phone. Immediately he paid the money. My husband transferred the money.
Which is how much?
It's 195,000.
The remaining balance of how much?
It remained 115,000.
195.
15. He paid 195. From that 195, the balance of previous years, 80,000 was.
Did you give him receipts?
No, because
now go court, go argue this matter. They can tell you I'm having a
no, ma. No,
I don't get strength, please. Otherwise, may I tell Chama to come up. I'm not in the mood to argue this matter.
Please, ma.
You're paying you money. You are not giving receipts. And you want to come and stress me here.
The receipt is with. When he transferred the money. Since that time, I did ask him when he sent the money, January. Ask him, did he come to the house? If I see him, I will give him the receipt. When he transferred 195,000 to my husband, ask him, did he come to the house? I have receipt. Anywhere of the tenant that pay money, my husband will call me that they have transferred so money to me. Please, let me talk.
And you say you're paying up.
Let me talk.
Hello, madam.
Let me talk.
Madam,
please let me talk. He now
I
says
don't want
that
statement again, madam.
Okay, ma.
I use God beg you.
Okay.
I use help to beg you people.
Why I did not see him? Why will I give
You
him the
hold
seat?
on.
Okay,
Because
ma.
this matter is confusing.
Okay, ma.
And I'm not even in the mood
Okay,
to sit
ma.
down and listen to all this
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Both of you are just talking
Okay,
here.
okay, ma.
You don't even know how much is owing.
I know, I have said it.
You say it's owing
115,000.
If you say they pay 190 something thousand, 190 what?
195.
195,000. And you say the rent is how much?
Ma, the reason why the money
No,
is like,
the
the
rent
rent
is
is
how
230,000.
230,000. Minus 195 is how much?
Ma,
No, 45,000.
No, ma, that's the, let me explain myself. It's not for the own money before. He
No,
has
go come and beg. Let them sign this. Madam, men are go court.
No,
I used to beg you. No, I'm not in the mood for this thing because you are not getting me understand. You're stressing me. Please, no.
No, let me talk. This and let him talk.
Hello.
Let Alison talk now. You first pay 150 to my husband. Your next payment.
To pay 1 year front. That one that I asked him to pay 1 year front on Sunday, you saw me were insulting me. He's calling me on the
Tell your mother to excuse my office. I don't beg and laugh before I embarrass her. Madam, get up from my office.
I think they don't you don't understand actually what's going on here. I started this statement by saying that
You are speaking Latin. You are the problem here. You are renting an apartment without paying somebody, and you are here disturbing everybody with English that don't understand.
I'm not owing anybody.
You said you are owing them. You said you pay advance. You said you told the man you want to pay his pieces. Madam, hello, come. Madam, excuse me. No. Excuse me out of my office before I embarrass you. Get out from my office. You get out there. Stop constituting all this nuisance here. I move this man to this place. You will not let him rest. He sit with you. You are dragging microphone with you. Now this woman is here. You don't let us talk. What is your problem?
I think you're not.
Are you a tenant there? Allow these two people to solve their problem. If you want to settle, let's settle them. You wouldn't let me talk. And you will not let your son talk, give us a proper statement that we will understand what is going on.
Let me have a pen. Let me write something down. If you don't understand this, let me have a pen now. All right. Let me give you a breakdown of this payment. When during the lockdown, I sent him the rent is 230,000 naira. Now I paid him the first part of it. I pleaded.
Hold on.
I paid
Is the rent 280 or not?
230. It's 230.
Nobody said 280.
It's 230.
You said 280.
I never said
It's
280.
230.
I said 230.
It's 230.
The rent is 230.
230, yes.
And you not pay how much?
Now I paid 150,000. 150,000 naira. And now that period, I told him that the hotel was shut down. I wasn't doing anything. He accepted. I paid 150.
150 balance of how much?
80,000.
80,000.
So that is the balance.
Which year was that?
That's 2019.
2019.
Yes.
Right, 80,000. Balance
Right.
2019.
Now, then January, he called again that I should pay up. I was supposed to pay him. I said I'm gonna. I told him I have 200,000 naira to pay, clearing off the 80,000 and also paying part of the new year. He accepted. I transferred the money. On that day, my transfer limit was exceeded. What I transferred was 195,000.
195,000.
Yes.
You said you are owing balance of 80,000. 50,000.
Yes. And I transferred 195,000, which will usher us into the new year, which is this year now.
So if you minus 195,000 from 80,000, remaining how much?
So I have money with him. That is I have 110,000 with him. So if you minus that, I still have extra money with him. I have 115,000 with him. Now that 115,000, I was still at work.
You are talking of 2019.
This current year now. Now, if I'm to break my rent into months according to the money I have, I give to him, it expires in May.
Where is the proof of this payment?
It's just ATM transferred it to him.
Eh?
ATM transferred it to him.
You must have it
And
on your
your
statement.
My phone is down.
Eh?
My phone is down. I matched
Bring
it
the
on my
phone, we'll
phone.
plug it. Because people cannot stress us and just leave us with another talk again. You know you are coming here and you know the reason why they are inviting you. And we have been inviting you for over how many days. Today you are coming, you're supposed to print out your statement because you know what we are calling you for. Go ahead.
So as it is now, what I'm owing him is 115,000, which I need to pay for that will cover till November.
So is with your 115,000.
Yes.
And you have to pay.
I have to balance the payment so it will become an annual payment that will end in November this year.
So you have to pay that 115,000.
Yes.
From when? When are you supposed to pay it?
I was willing to pay that money.
When are you supposed to pay it?
I'm supposed to pay it in May.
May?
Yes.
But we're already in August.
Yes.
So what happened to you?
Because after the conversation with him, I don't know what happened. Suddenly he said, Alison, leave my house.
Okay.
Now, what actually caused this thing? The reason why she's agreed. Hello, ma'am.
I will scatter your phone if you bring this in front of me.
Hello, ma'am. The reason why my mom is agreed was because she passed through a lot of stress in the house, both within and outside. But as I told you, I don't want to go to any or all those ends.
I'm asking you, Harrison.
Yes, ma'am.
This house, there is no peace between you and the owners of the house. And why must you stay there if there is no other house in this world again and in this Lagos? Why must you live in that house? Why can't you move out of the house and move on with your life?
Yes, ma'am. When he told me to leave, the last conversation, he was like, Alison, I don't need your money again. If you want to even get on that flat, I will support you with my own money. I told him, okay, if that is the case, give me time to look for another apartment.
And that was when the conversation
That
was when?
It's January. It's
January.
It's on my phone. It's on my phone. Your conversation between you and my husband is on my phone. It's on my phone.
Ma, with all due respect, hello, ma'am. With all due respect, she doesn't know the conversation I had with her husband. She has no idea. She had no idea, and I wouldn't want her to cut me off again.
Madam Harrison, excuse me, I want to see.
Now, so the conversation I had with him, so he was like, I asked you to send this money. I told him, sir, I had a little hitch, I had an accident. That is why I did it. He now said, okay, if that should be the case, that it is obvious I can't pay his money. I said, no, I can pay your money. He now said, Alison, don't stay in my house again. I will give you time to leave my house. That was what he told me over the phone.
Okay, that was when?
That was me.
May.
Yes, ma'am.
You have the proof that you had the conversation with him, May?
He always save his conversation. He always save his conversation.
And you that have the conversation with him, you don't know, even if he always saves his conversation.
That phone is bad.
Huh?
That phone is bad. If the phone can come up, I can check my conversation.
Oh, you actually know the phone is bad and you said it's battery. You
I
can
don't
see
know.
now. You gave me the
I said
phone
my
that
phone
the
is
battery
down.
is down, or
Yes.
but you say it's bad.
He said if I can't, I sorry, I didn't save the conversation with him. I can't, I shouldn't be recording the conversation. I never knew I was having any case like this.
This phone you gave to me now is not coming up, and you said you make a transaction.
Yes.
You can go to your email. Every transaction you have, apart from normal text message, it goes to your mail. And your mail, you can access it from any phone. So this phone you gave to me is not working, and you know it's not
Is there
working.
any
You just say
information
this.
you want to get, ma? What
Yes,
information do you want to
because
get? Which is
they are
which?
doubting. They said you never paid them such amount of money, that the
You
money you are
are.
owing is different. And the only way you can clarify
Excuse me,
us
ma.
is to show us the date of the payment
Excuse me,
to the
ma.
account.
You are getting this conversation wrong. She never told you I didn't transfer money to them.
You said the transfer that you are owing, but not the amount you say.
Ma, if you are paying annually, for instance, you are
Have
paying
you agreed that your balance is 115,000?
Yes,
Madam, have you agreed that the balance is 15,000?
He knows that it's one. That's the reason why
I said, have you agreed that the balance is
115,000.
She's aware, I'm aware.
Which will end when? Because when
It
you are
will end in this November.
So what is the issue?
Before the issue of 100, my husband has told him in January because he has been calling him since. He refused to pick his call. Later, I now transfer 195,000 to him. So to my husband in Abuja.
No, madam, don't take me to
No, what I'm saying is that I just want you to understand what I'm saying. Yes. So immediately, my husband said that your case has been taken, I've given it to my lawyer, that the best thing is to leave my apartment since January. So later, since that time, there is no conversation between him and my husband. Later in May, he called my husband and he's telling my husband that since that he should get an accident, that your wife called my.
Madam, the question I asked, if you agree that this man paid and his balance is 100, excuse me, don't complete my statement for me. If the money is, the balance is 115,000,
yes,
and is to expire November,
yes,
what is your issue?
Thank you. The issue has been started.
What is the
issue? Is that issue because how he's paying now? How he's paying, he don't pay as he's supposed to pay, and the flat was long. Nobody stay in that flat. It's the tenant that is paying there because never bring our bill together.
Okay, what you do now? Come, please,
man. It's the tenant that is paying this bill, that should pass from the house since November last year. He locked the flat.
If he locked the flat and his items are there, his properties are there, and he's paying, but I don't want this woman to come and make money because it is disturbing me. If his rent is still running,
it has.
Madam, you say it will end November. You say this money will expire November, which is the balance now. But if he pays the balance,
pay us 115,000.
He will pay. He will pay. Alison, when are you paying the 115,000? When are you paying?
The landlord said I should not pay, ma.
When are you paying? Are you leaving now? If you are not leaving now, when are you paying? As far as your properties are still in that house, when are you paying? Can't say somebody says the landlord said I should not pay. Are you his first son? Or you are inheriting the property? When are you paying?
Now,
yes.
When am I paying has to come with a clause.
What is the clause?
Will I be treated like a tenant? Is my family accepted in the house? Will they have the harmony other tenants are enjoying? Now, it shouldn't be that I should pay for a house and then it will be a horror coming back home.
If you feel, hold on, you cannot give anybody condition. If the condition is not so good for, if you are not
in my house.
Then why can't you just vacate the place? Because your rent has already started. You're already in arrear. You are owing them already. You are owing them already. If you had paid 115,000, it will expire November.
Yes.
As you did not pay from May, June, July, August, you are already 3 months indebted to them. So if, for instance, you said, okay, you are paying, you are giving, you have been paying six months rent, and you have covered 3 months, meaning the notice that they were supposed to serve you prior to the expiration of your rent, you have already taken that notice, given that time, because 3 months already have elapsed in your rent you are running there. Then if you are a yearly tenant, by August, September, October, November, you are due to vacate the place. So if you feel you don't want to renew the rent, that you are not willing to pay up the balance, and you are not comfortable with their attitude towards you and your family, you have no reason to lock your apartment in another person's building. It's also not proper, because if you had come to this place, they said you are, for instance, you lock up the place without even getting your things out of the place. You are not there for them, you and them, to be arguing when you pay or you are not paying. You leave and pack to another place, or started living in another place and lock up the place. They can equally use police to trace you and get you arrested and vacate your things from there. Because these are two things. If we had not even seen you, and the complaint, you have locked up the place and your rent have expired, and you are not living in that house, we will still find a way. So if as we are inviting you, you refuse to come, the next thing is to get law enforcement involved, arrest you, to pack your things out of the house, because you are not living there. But if you are living there, you are owing, and both of you is arguing, please exercise patience, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay so time, and they give you notice, and you feel the notice is sudden, they need to extend it and all that. It's what the both parties should negotiate. Otherwise, there must be a resolution on this. If you are not interested in the apartment, then you packed out. As a yearly tenant, by November. So please, for peace sake, and for the fact that I believe you are aiming higher, and your dream is bigger than where you are living now, I don't want us to continue with this talk again. Just tell your God, if it's financial challenges, tell your God you want to pack out from that house, not in November. I should give you that time, you leave the place. And if you have the money, possibly because of the attitude they put up, and you just feel, okay, no, even if I'm not going there, I'll lock up the place. Just have a flashback that no, I don't need anything to drag me back. I think I have a better dream. I have a better future. And there are people, the kind of people I would not want to join the show with, because of your own desire. And you move on, you dust away and go on with your life. Take your things, don't play with them, don't even let any of your siblings go there. Want to go there, gently you go there, take whatever you want to. Arrange your things, go, okay, I'm leaving, this is your okay. You don't want them to have a whatever competition with you, pick your things, tell them, okay, please pick your case from Human Rights Office, however you want it. Advice, display, you give it to them. Just hand over their key to them there and just move on with your life and see how God will do. Plead with your mom, talk to her, Mama, no. You are an educated woman, behave as one. Don't need to go back, you don't need to talk this, don't need to join issue with anybody, please. Don't go there.
Well, thank you very much. Actually, the house is about transport. That's why.
That is terrible.
But I will do it like I said. Okay. Thank you very much.
The madam, now, I will advise they should not connect the light so that you will not be picking more bills. Except you want, maybe they should connect. You want to be paying the bills, then they should connect the light if you really want it. Yes, you. They have not. They have not. They have not plugged the bill that we have applied. Now, I want to make some because I can't praise myself. It's only God that can. Do you hear? Hold on. Ma. Did you just excuse me? No. If hold on, okay, if I can send this woman out, no. You hold on, madam. Okay, ma. Don't praise yourself, and I don't need anybody to praise anybody. Don't close that chapter. Okay. What I say now, you heard what I say. Now go leave him till November. By November, he will pack out of the house. Will you pay the money? No. No problem. I accept. But what of the man? No, yes, now, if you want to be there, you can have access to water and light, provided you pay for the light. That's what I'm saying. Provided you will pay for the light, they will connect the light. You have access to your water and light. They will not deprive you of it. It's not worth it because you don't know where you are going tomorrow. And if you have a better dream, you will not even join issue with a person. You just want to have your free life. So move on. Yeah. Problem. So you write undertaking to vacate the place. Then, madam, you write undertaking to go and connect his light and water from today. Man, you go back to concerning the light. What of his balance that I use my own personal money? He will pay. He will pay. Yes. And if he pay, I will connect his light. No, go and connect it first because you don't have right to disconnect anybody's light. Madam, listen to me. Go and connect it. He will pay it. He will pay it. You don't have right to disconnect his light. Go and connect the light back, okay. And he will pay for the light. For both the one he owe that they pay and the one that he'll be using now. Okay, ma'am. What of the outstanding one that the other tenant paid? Because since January. Is it not what we just said? No, it's one month. It's last year money that I cleared. Harrison. Last year money. That is another issue you are bringing. Whether you are in the house, you are not in the house. You did not write to NEPA that you are not going to be in that house. That's what I'm saying. Then otherwise, you leave the issue of the light so that there will be no problem. Not when they connect. They connect today, say you are not in the house. You can't tell NEPA you are not in the house while their wire is in your house. Yes. If you are not going to be there, you will write officially to NEPA, I am not around, disconnect me. So if you know you are not going to pay, which you will still pay, because as far as you on your own did not write to NEPA that you are not in the house, they should disconnect you. You can't accumulate bill for anybody to pay. After years, I have none of the tenants have issue with me. It's because of their character and the character of the mother. Leave the mother alone. Leave the mother alone. Because if I allow you and this woman to stay, both of you strip yourself naked here. Stop. Leave her alone. Now you good. I'm not good. It's not that. What is searching for the way they can okay. One minute. I'm gonna give you a sheet, please.
I can't tell you because of people here. You know the police wahala on the road. 3 or 2 years since morning to now, no food.
My level.
Yeah, don't that. You should be your mother should understand what I mean. See when I'm worried from the car. I'm going to go.
Look, that voice is coming here. I'm online. Mother, are you ready to connect that light? Yes.
Ma?
Are you ready to connect that light back? Yes.
No, I'm ready to collect, but the only thing is that by if he's paying,
If you did not, let me tell you one thing that you expect from here. If
Okay,
you did not comply with the resolution of this office, do you know where this case will end? You went in court. Yes.
Okay, ma.
What I'm telling you, first, as you go back, first thing tomorrow morning, connect that light.
Okay,
if you don't connect the light,
okay, ma.
any other issue that prompts after this today resolution,
Okay,
you people will end in court.
Okay, ma.
Because what he wrote here, he said he's going to vacate the place, pack out from the apartment by November 2021. And we equally pay off all these outstanding utilities NEPA bill, which is 11,200 that you tell him. So put this in. Subsequent one that you may enjoy after the connection will still also be paid. Give her to sign here. This and this. Landlord, we don't hear you. All right, thank you.